All right, boys, lift the cloche.
After you.
Oh, thank you.
24-hour ration.
Oh, these things are so exciting. It's like there's so many things to unwrap and unbox.
Today, we're tasting a whole bunch of MREs, meals ready to eat, from different countries. We're gonna taste them, learn about them, see how they differ from each other, and get a chef's expert opinion on how he thinks they taste. Let's start a little closer to home with a UK MOD, Ministry of Defence, ration pack.
I've also just realised, Jay, this is already 20 years old.
Potentially.
No, at least 20 years old. It was packed in 2002, so it's 23 years old.
So we're getting a slice of history as well. Milk chocolate from Duncan's of Scotland.
Bearing in mind, this is 24 hours, so there's quite a lot of sweet treats. There's some fruit biscuits.
There's a spinach and lentil tin.
Oat cakes and oatmeal blocks.
Non-meat mini burgers and beans.
There's a first course, got soup.
Boiled sweets.
Something for after that.
Great.
And
pasta, mushrooms and sweet corn.
So this is genuine MOD surplus. It was designed mainly to feed soldiers involved in that Afghanistan conflict between 2001 to 2021. And as you say, this provides 24 hours of meals. Reckon somewhere between 3,800 to 4,200 calories per ration box.
That's a lot of calories, but it's for very, very physically demanding situations.
So, give you these.
Excellent.
That is your little stove, and they were designed actually to be eaten hot or cold. So if you didn't have the ability to heat them up, that would have been okay. The breakfast, main meal and dessert rations are of boil in a bag, so typically done on a hexamine stove.
They are windproof matches.
Now you blew that one out. Okie dokie, Mike.
Just a reheat job, isn't it?
Do you know what? I thought it was going to be a dry mix we were going to add water to.
I think
because I was
some of
also
them might
shaking
be.
this, which is definitely dry, but that's fine. We've also got some cream and mushroom soup, maybe a little light lunch, or something to warm us up. The only MREs I've done is on the side of a ski resort, which is somewhat more pretentious. I was with James. But
yes.
It was cold, it was wet. Yeah, I was mostly with James. And it was cold, it was wet. It was one of those things you want to cook really quickly because you don't want to faff around. And I feel like maybe boiling the bag would have been a better option, but
there you go.
There's your first however many calories.
So each of the boxes contain different menus and meals. So if you imagine that soldiers will be using these for up to 30 days, because of the nutritional balance of them not being great, not recommended for eating over 30 days, but the different menus do provide variety in terms of the flavours and the types of meals that you would get.
I've put our pudding, chocolate pudding, in a boil in the bag. See if that brings up some moisture. Interesting you say that in the worst of conditions, they could be eaten cold.
Yeah.
As in they are already just open your gut. I mean, that is a texture game. You saw the textures, we squeezed it out, but could be done. I'm letting that burn out because it's probably easier than moving it. But what I've done is completely ruined our table.
Oh!
Jamie just gave it to me. I presumed he checked this kind of stuff.
Put it.
That is going to take some photoshopping. Right, here we go. Very thick, mushroomy.
It looks incredibly gloopy.
It is.
And starchy, which is where you get your calories,
Exactly,
right?
yeah. It's a really satisfying eat. Lemon powder.
So that's like a squash, I guess?
Yeah, lots of isotonic drinks in these packs. So you're getting the electrolytes and the hydration element from them as well.
And water purifying tablets. 4 cups of tea, 2 coffee, 1 veg stock drink, 1 lemon powder drink, 1 drinking chocolate drink, and 1 soup. Lots of liquids. You have to carry or have access to a lot of water, but presumably the water purifying tablets mean that if it's not the purest, as long as you can heat the water up, you're onto a winner.
I think you're certainly looking at this from a perspective of, obviously, the situations that you're in. Can I eat this? Is it actually of enough, but not too much flavour? Being able to eat for sustenance, but it being on the right level of still tasty. I think, from me sitting here with literally no military experience whatsoever.
Have you not?
No, it's good.
Yeah, there's the interesting line between function over form. Whilst they have given you lots of sugar, which equals lots of calories to add into your coffee or your tea, no salt and pepper, and the tiny taste of that, it's incredibly salty. So it's interesting, again, if you are sweating all day, where are you getting your salt back from? And actually that does it, as I imagine these
The rehydrated electrolytes, yeah, for sure.
are going to do that with for you.
Especially seeing as this was specific to an Afghanistan tour where it's going to be swelteringly hot.
And or freezing cold,
Yeah,
the two
right,
extremes.
Yeah.
I mean, biscuits have been rations for travellers for years, whether it was seafaring travellers, that's where the biscuit began. Nicely spiced.
Oh, yeah.
25 years on, that's held up. I actually don't like that at all. I had a mouthful and I was trying to be polite about it. I think it's terrible.
Really?
But I don't know if that's because it's 25 years old or if it's because it's an MRE.
I think it's quite nice.
Now again, obviously, you would make sure you get every last bit out of this, and you'd probably eat it out the pouch. That's kind of its point.
Yeah.
We're literally pouring this out so everyone can see on camera.
Nope.
Don't need that.
These packs would have a shelf life of at least 3 years.
Seeing as this kit is 20 years old,
That's done a
Smelling
Mars. That's
that.
done a Mars bar and or a fruitcake.
we won't be eating that. The sustenance is the most important thing here. But actually, there's been a real effort for variety and just lots of different applications to try and at least keep things fresh.
And I think also to balance it out with just how many liquids you need to consume. And when you're just having to consume liquid after liquid after pint after pint after pint, different ways of flavouring it, keeping warm and keeping added nutrition, a lot of sugar in those drinks. But we know that tinned veg are still a really good way of getting nutrition. Carby, starchy, quite gloopy main course. Soups, chocolate pudding, we can only presume that 20 years ago it was better. And biscuits, which again, a British soldier, tea and biscuits, is as much about, I think, morale and wanting to eat it as, here we go
100%.
again, I have to eat it.
Well, one final little tidbit before we move on. Evans, if you pick up the box that it came in, you'll notice
Whole menu.
Hamburger and beans, corned beef hash, sausage and beans. It's very British, isn't it?
Treacle
Bacon and
pudding,
beans.
rice pudding. So I think a lot of these are actually probably perhaps more British than pasta.
Yeah,
Beef
beef
stew
stew.
and dumplings, lamb stew and potatoes, pork casserole, Lancashire hot pot, steak and vegetables potato,
Yeah, they've gone full British.
a soup every day. That's where the pasta comes in, up there with vegetable tikka masala.
well, that's how the Brits do it. Do you want to see how other countries do it?
I really do. Lift away, chef.
Number 2.
Oh,
I don't speak that language, but the English on it says Latvia University of...
Latvian.
Boys, this is the Latvian Armed Forces combat rations.
Intrigued. There's instructions in your hand. Or instantly, this is much more modern.
Yeah.
So everything about it is they're more modern snacks.
Ooh. Oh, they've actually got branded items.
So yeah, so this is a current Latvian Armed Forces ration pack. Now, Latvia aren't involved in any conflicts at the moment, so this is mainly used for training purposes and field operations and NATO exercises. There's a range of different menus. The one that we've got has got pea porridge with smoked pork, rye bread, roasted lentils, chocolate and raisins. There should be enough sustenance for about 12 hours. It contains around 1,500 to 1,700 calories.
Okay, I've got instructions, Evers.
Excellent. Danger, fire, ruins tables.
So, yeah, I've got plaster. There you go, look.
Oh, that's better.
Excellent. It should really be blue.
There we go. Oh, it should actually, because we're in the
for
cooking.
safety reasons.
But there you go.
Wonderful.
It's all taken care of now. No, so this is a flameless ration heater bag.
Oh, like those
those
that
selfie-
noodle pot that we picked up.
Yeah, cool, okay. Tear the flameless ration heater bag open at the notch. Insert the unopened meal pouch. In the sleeve, add water to the bag to the fill line. At the bottom of the bag, 50 mils. Fold over the meal so the heater is under the meal. Lay the bag down. After 12 minutes, the meal is RE.
They reckon Latvia's one of only few armed forces who include bread or rye bread with the packs. There should be 2 slices in there.
And with added protein, which makes it really lovely and dense.
It's got chocolate, raisin and cranberries. You've got roasted lentils there as well. It might be worth giving them a bit of a try.
These.
Yeah.
We should acknowledge there's a lot of plastic involved in all of these. Important to keep the food inside safe, dry, and protected. It just has to be upcycled and recycled. The rye bread's good, sticky, dense, very heavy.
Lentils are a lovely texture. There's not actually much flavour at all. They're very dry, to be
It's
fair.
one of my favourite snacks. But then you add a little bit of dark chocolate, a little bit of fruit, and whilst you probably wouldn't eat all three together, you'd paste them throughout the day.
There are other menus. So you could get beef goulash with buckwheat and mushrooms, or stewed cabbage with ham.
I was going to say cabbage.
All the things we mentioned. I mean, this has got smoked ham and cooked ham in with the peas porridge. Still across your 12 hours, you've got 3 cups of coffee with sugar and a cup of green tea, interestingly.
And you've also got some disinfectant gel so that you can wash your hands before you eat.
And on top of your 3 tissues, you have got wet wipes.
Yeah. I mean, the chocolate, just good quality dark chocolate. It's tasty. And I love that they're leaning into the familiar cuisine of Latvia.
When you said good quality dark chocolate, I was excited for that. That to me is advent calendar chocolate, supplemented with protein again.
It's got whey powder in it.
It's whey powder. It's cocoa solids and whey powder, cocoa mass. It's not chocolate. It's a chocolate flavoured compound. But again, you're getting another 7.5 grams of protein out of a chocolate bar. I don't think any of this is the food, obviously, that anyone would ever choose to eat out of circumstance. But in the circumstance, it is fit for purpose. And I know it's only across 12 hours, but compared to the last one, there's only one thing you need to quickly reheat with a splash of water, whereas everything else is just open up and ready to eat. Just in case there's any hot and cold spots. Instantly smells comforting. It's not going to be a looker, but then I don't think pea porridge is.
So this is split pea porridge?
Yeah, yellow split peas.
Okay.
Also carrots, onion, 2 types of pork, so ham and a smoked pork, and a fair amount of salt. That is lovely. To me,
That's delicious.
I would happily serve that on a bowl with a little bit of, a crispy crumb or pea shoots or whatever, and call that a midweek meal. That is not for dire times on location. You could absolutely eat that at home. That is yummy.
If you dunk the rye bread in, it might make it a little bit more.
Needs a bit of crunch.
So I know the British pack was a slightly older one, but in terms of representing a nation's cuisine and making something that's tasty as well as functional, how do you think the Latvia MRE compares?
Well, standalone, it's delicious. It's really tasty.
I think it's the tastiest bit out of all of it, because I kind of want some seasoning. For me, the chocolate and the rye bread wasn't great, but I know what it's doing. It's there for function. It feels very Latvian, very East European cuisine, and it's hearty.
So that Latvian ration pack is part of a newly redesigned ration pack, so it is fairly new to the military, also to the market. We got it from a specialist MRE website. Do you want to have a third one?
Yeah, definitely.
Although this is yummy.
You can keep that. I'm going to go back for the chocolate bar.
Okay, give the cloche a lift.
Where are we going
Spain.
now? España.
Fuerzas Armadas, the Spanish Armed Forces.
So this is just one meal. I'm going to say quite a heavy box.
I feel it. Oh, yeah.
Compared to the last ones, which were much drier, this is quite heavy. I reckon it's got moisture within.
It's not shaped like a paella.
So on your menu is beans with chorizo, you have sardines in oil and an apricot jam.
I think these are isotonic drinks.
Yeah, vitamin C. There's the apricot jam.
Crema dental florada. I think that's toothpaste.
So you get lots of accessories in this one. Soup bases, water purification tablets, vitamin C, isotonic drink powders. There's matches and a burner stove with fuel.
Ooh.
Napkins, wet wipes and toothpaste also included.
And a chewing gum. Chicle.
Chicle.
I am slightly confused by one element. A whole load of apricot jam. Where's the bread to put it on? It's a spread, but what am I spreading it on?
It's a really good question. Apparently, the bread elements are shipped separately from the ration packs.
Interesting.
Look at that.
Single use.
Learned our lessons because we're out of plasters. 4 isotonic drinks with vitamin C.
See if you can like that. Also, interestingly, a chicken and pasta soup. Not much pasta in that.
No?
Flat.
Maybe it's just pasta flavour.
The one I saw was like angel hair pasta.
Oh, it might well
Wait,
be.
it's squashed now. Right, shall I start heating this?
Yeah.
Nice.
Ta-da! I'm going to give our little thing, because look, the oil's coming to the top. Wunderbar.
It's boiling or bubbling slightly.
Oh, look at this fat. It's very beany. I thought it was going to be a bit more saucy, a bit more stewy. Not much in the way of pasta. Oh, they're little stars.
You got little stars?
Little stars of pasta. I don't think we've got measures for this soup, so I'm just kind of guessing.
Having a taste of home when you are stationed somewhere in another country on the other side of the world perhaps, like having a taste of home must be like a real bit of luxury, and I can imagine that's how these ration packs are put together as well. It's got to do function, but also it's got to provide comfort.
And there has to be variety, because it doesn't matter how comforting beans and chorizo are. If you have it 30 days in a row, you're going to get bored of it. So it is also the variety from each other. And I think the fact that we've only tasted and sampled one from each country from different eras as well, is just really a sample pot of the potential. It's now bubbling a bit more.
I also know people who have a nostalgic feel towards the MREs that they had at the time, and actually have cravings for those meals again. We know the quality of tinned fish in these types of countries.
The potential quality.
Exactly. Well,
it goes, every end of the scale.
But I wonder where these lie. They're big, chunky sardines.
I'm going to go start with the soup. Could probably take more dilution. It's very salty, but that I was guessing. But actually, quite a lot of flavour from like broth. I've had better sardines, but actually I think that's up there as really, really good. Do you know what it's missing?
Bit of bread.
The bread delivery. Because a little bit of bread to go with that sardine, to dip into all of this, and then to put my apricot jam on, makes perfect sense. So big chunks of pork fat, a whole tin of olive oil.
The video that I watched that was saying that the oil is probably quite important in terms of providing calories.
Absolutely.
A really great way to get them. Other menus that you could have got include Galician stew, squid in its own ink.
Oh, wow.
Lentils stewed with chorizo and Spanish bacon, mackerel in oil, Madrilenian stew, green beans with Spanish ham, calamari in its oil.
I like the sound of most of those, not the green beans. I think green beans in a tin, they're never going to stay that green or be that nice, whereas these beans work so beautifully. That's delicious.
They're so fatty.
Yeah.
In a good way. I mean, that is some calories that you're getting in there.
Cheers.
Cheers.
That's a shame. Because I love the texture of that broth, but it's got tin sausage texture.
Okay.
It almost disintegrates when you bite into it. It's like a bit cakey, but then also soggy at the same time.
Which is a shame, because the beans are yummy. Let's finish up with some apricot jam. You mentioned quince in some of the other ones. I mean, that's just about as Spanish as it gets.
Quince cream spread, peach cream spread was another one that I saw.
Wow, that was really good. That'd be lovely on some bread.
Yeah.
How do you think it compares to the Latvian one, seeing as they're both of a similar vintage?
I think they're very similar in terms of they've lent heavily into the comfort foods of their individual countries. I just find it completely alien that they've got sardines in oil as a Brit and then looking at the British pack, because that just wouldn't even be on our radar, because...
Have biscuits instead.
Well, yeah, but do you know what I mean? Whereas like that would be a home comfort for someone, and that's really cool.
The only other thing I think to add is the ones that have impressed us are the ones that are already more familiar to us in terms of textures. We're very used to tinned fish, so that is great tinned fish. Very used to getting spreads in little packets, where actually sausages in tins are pretty rubbish. So put a sausage in a tin and it's pretty rubbish. But the beans are good in tins. We're used to beans in tins. So I think it's more about the application of how they're stored and what we're used to. Because the Spanish, I've heard, make pretty good cured sausage. They just don't put them in tins. So when they do, it takes away from their brilliance.
Well, boys, I've got one more for you, and this one's a little bit different and a little bit special.
If Barry's made it, I'll be fuming.
If it's a fake.
Which one's the fake?
My turn?
Your turn. Last one.
It looks aged.
It looks, Meal Combat Individual Chicken Boned B3 Unit.
Oh, is this a chicken in a can? Do you remember we did that chicken in a tin? Oh, these. Oh, I don't like the look of this.
Oh, wow. Okay, so I assume that this is not one
Very,
to be eating.
Very, very old. What is this?
So boys, I don't think we're going to be eating this one, but we came across it when we were researching and it just looks so interesting. This is a 1960s US military MCI ration pack.
Wow, completely unopened. Again, we're tampering with history here. We're ruining it in one fell.
And the challenge of history is how much science changes. I love the fact that in a military pack they provide you with cigarettes.
Oh, wow.
Crazy.
Chiclets.
Chiclets.
It's got our old chewing gum that we tried. Amazing.
So this is genuine US military issue that would have been individual rations provided to soldiers during the Vietnam War between 1955 and 1975.
You know
Amazing.
it's legit because it's got a toothpick.
And if we've watched every war film ever,
Exactly.
we know toothpicks are important.
Drop down, give me 20, you worm! Is that it? Or maggot? It's a maggot, isn't it?
Are we joking about the Vietnam War right now? Coffee packs crafted by Nestle. I mean, that hasn't changed in however many years.
Salt, tinned white bread, a mystery tin that just says B3 unit.
Chicken boned in a broth with chicken fat and salt. I think that once was a tissue.
How, is this a 12-hour?
Yeah, so this is an individual ration. Soldiers were given a box like this every day and could eat it as they like. So it wasn't sort of set meals and things like that.
Wow.
The B3 unit typically contains crackers, cocoa discs, a fudge bar or sugar tablets and sweets as well.
Yeah, so to be fair, this bit, the sugar, the salt, the chiclets, oh, it's toilet paper. You can wipe your bottom on that. We've done bread in a tin on tin roulette before. Oh, I don't like the sound this makes.
This could have gone in one of our oldest food taste tests.
Except
as well.
I don't think we can taste test.
Yeah, we couldn't.
Bread.
So this would have been used mainly on the front line when food was difficult to deliver.
Yep.
Challenging conditions.
This one didn't even need opening, I touched it and it
And that's the one with chicken in it.
opened. Right, here we go, guys. This is what you're here for. Oh!
I mean, this is history. We talk about things like this deserving to be in a museum.
Oh, no.
Ta-da!
That is a decomposed carcass of sorts.
Okay, we won't linger on this too long.
Absolutely
That is
reeks
rotten.
of rotten flesh. What do we think this is supposed to be or was?
Oh, it's a cake.
Biscuits.
Viennese Wells. Grape jam.
And a hot chocolate. Hot chocolate, biscuits, and a bit of grape jam.
So they reckon that the B unit can could be turned into an improvised stove by making cuts with a can opener.
Yep.
Okay.
Did that in Scouts.
And heat would either come from boiling, trioxane fuel tablets, or sometimes even placing the can in the exhaust of a running truck.
Oof.
Oh dear.
Are we happy that the tin hasn't leaked all of its?
Oh, we're absolutely not eating this. I'm just doing
Oh,
this.
okay, okay.
Absolutely
Good.
not
I was
eating
going
this.
to. Well, I mean, I'm going to eat a biscuit.
Don't do it.
I did it. That is nice.
Is it really?
To be fair,
That is nice.
The 20-year-old biscuits were good. I don't know.
Yeah, that biscuit started off nice. Now it tastes like fish.
Look at that. Little grape jam sandwich.
Made a little Victoria sponge, mate.
It's another example where these things should be in a museum.
And we just ruined it in one fell swoop.
However, to open it to see what's inside to be able to turn it out is what museums can't do.
Yeah.
Because you can see the tin and you can know that it's original, but to be able to turn it out and see it and see the texture, I mean, well done for eating it, but just to see the texture of these crumbly, short biscuits.
It's amazing.
And it's impossible for us to put ourselves in the mindset or even imagine the situations in which
For sure.
any of these are actually eaten. But just to get a bit of an insight into an area of the world of food that
Yeah.
we know nothing about is really interesting.
It's fascinating.
A lot of toilet paper. I think they might know about that chicken. All of them have been very different.
I've loved it.
What I find interesting is the simplicity of the Latvian one in how quickly, with just 50 ml of water, to be able to heat it in its own pouch was even a lot more convenient in terms of its innovation than the Spanish one, which, albeit current, still requires lighting, setting fire to things, building a little thing to put it on top. They're just different applications.
It's like the height of technology meets efficiency meats, the conditions in which it needs to be meticulously designed for. That is what's so impressive about all of them. Is from a nutritional, practicality, ease perspective, they've clearly been thought about, but then on top of that, you do actually get more of a variety than someone who has no knowledge about any of them than I expected. Really, really cool, really interesting, loved it.
Well, let us know in the comments, what do you think of those MREs? And if you have your own personal experience of MREs,
Yes.
we'd love to read about it. Comment down below, let us know.
And thank you for your service.
Give us a like though, because, you know, we ate these things. It was hard.